Welcome to the Tesla Economist. Please hit the thumbs up and remember to subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter and talk to me on Patreon. A new Tesla Model Y version has made it onto the EPA list. It's a Tesla Model Y all-wheel drive with 270 miles of range. For comparison, the current all-wheel drive Model Y long range is 330 miles of range. This is a new car. Tesla is launching a new version of the Model Y. What's the first thing that's going through your mind right now? Probably, wow, there's going to be an affordable Model Y. Wow, maybe even now I can afford it, or at least when Tesla's stock price recovers. So Elon does care about the common man, as the prices are just so expensive for the long-range Model Y. It's no longer affordable for the average new car buyer. Tesla had priced themselves out of the market, or at least that's what a lot of people try to tell me. But as I've explained before, that's supply and demand. The prices are moot if Tesla sell everything they make, especially with a massive backlog. But anyway, now everyone can be happy, as there appears to be an affordable Model Y on the way. If you recall, I've been saying this car was coming. I called it a medium-range Model Y and said it would have 270 to 300 miles of range and would be a sweet spot between range and affordability and end up being the biggest selling vehicle ever. Although I didn't anticipate this soon. I expected it to use LFP batteries, but only when Tesla launched their more energy-dense versions, and perhaps this model will one day be replaced with them. Alright, but how does this relate to your Tesla shares? What does this mean? Is profit going to be down if Tesla are launching a lower cost model? Well, Tesla are facing two problems right now: high prices and low supply. The vehicle supply will eventually be constrained by battery production. What if there was a simple way to solve both of these issues? Is that what Tesla have done? Tesla's demand has gone through the roof, and it's about to go even further. Tesla are having to raise prices to balance supply and demand as best they can, but with no avail. These products are just too damn popular. But they are getting expensive, over $60,000 for Model Y, and if you want it soon, a further $12,000 for FSD. This is an expensive car. In addition to that, we have commodity prices spiking. Hopefully these will be transitory, and I'm sure Tesla has long-term contracts at fixed prices and has hedged whatever was necessary in the futures market. But prices may be up anyway. It feels like we've just had another wake-up call. Even Biden thinks it's time we should increase battery production. I'm uncertain as to how he thinks he can achieve that any faster than Tesla, but at least it makes him look current, and as if he has a clue what he's talking about. What's the main cost these cars are facing here? It's the batteries. And although the 4680 batteries are produced at low cost, they're scarce. And once supplies are exhausted, we have an opportunity cost of the 2170 battery. I.e., even if the 4680 batteries are, say, $60 a kilowatt hour, will run out because they're scarce and still end up paying $150 a kilowatt hour for 2170 batteries. Oh, and the 2170 batteries aren't exactly going spare either. In fact, the 4680s should be far more abundant, likely even before the end of this year. Good to know. Now, would it not be too presumptuous of us to assume that this lower cost Model Y will outsell the long range, and would therefore require a great deal more batteries? So what if Tesla ended up using 4680 batteries for these medium-range Model Ys? Well, as these vehicles would use fewer batteries, we just solved the two problems. If we're battery constrained, then making a car that uses fewer batteries is the equivalent of producing more batteries when it comes to getting as many EVs out on the road as possible, which is the mission. This will help supply meet demand more, and it will reduce prices. Of course, demand will once again jump due to the fact that the Model Y just became that much more affordable for so many more people. Now, there is a chance that Tesla may use the 2170 batteries for these cars and keep the 4680 for the long range. We have been told that 4680 is for performance and long range vehicles, not for the medium range. The medium range 4680 would not fit in with what we've been told, but perhaps this is the move to make. It's just better to get more cars out there as quickly as possible, and the world has changed a lot lately. There's also the possibility that there may be a 2170 and a 4680 version of all vehicles, and Fremont will supply the West Coast, and Texas supply the rest, as it would be better for logistics. But at the end of the day, it looks like there is a new vehicle coming. It will be a lower cost, and it will have a lot more demand. So why are Tesla bringing it out? As there is so much demand still for the long range, they don't need to offer a low-cost model. Keep selling the more expensive model so we can profit more from each sale. That's just good business. We don't want to cannibalize our higher end models, but is it? Is it better business? Is it more profit? What if Tesla don't need to worry about cannibalizing their higher end models because they have so much demand already, and they can make good profits on the lower cost model too? Well, maybe, But luckily, this is a simple econometrics model. We have intel from Tesla. We were told that Tesla will be battery constrained as soon as the semiconductor shortage is rectified. Battery constrained. It does surprise me how few people don't realize this yet, but it's a big deal, as you need to know where to look for Tesla's growth, i.e. battery production. So the economics are simple here to work out how Tesla should execute this. Tesla's product is a battery at its core, just like Mercedes' core product is an engine. And as Tesla is scarce with batteries, then it's all about how much profit they can make for each battery. Firstly, we'll need to calculate what the size of the battery pack will be. By the end of the year, 4680 should be massively outproducing the 2170 and exponentially so as we go on. So let's base all of this from the 4680 and try and estimate what the size of the battery might be. The current long-range Model Y has 330 miles of range. This medium-range version has a 270-mile range, a difference of 50 miles, 15% less range. If the long range currently uses a 75 kilowatt-hour battery, well, a 15% smaller battery pack would be just under 64 kilowatt-hours. Now, a long-range battery pack is 900 pounds, but we just removed 15% of the batteries in there. Well, that'll be well over 100 pounds of weight saving. If you have a lighter car, then you also need fewer batteries. So 60 kilowatt-hours probably is a good guess, but that would be if it was based on 2170 batteries. Wow, did you catch it? 4680 batteries. Well, we're expecting 4680s to be even more energy dense and thus lighter and thus fewer batteries again. On battery day, we were told that the 4680 design will increase range by 16%, the chemistry 24%, and the cell to vehicle integration a further 14% improvement on range, giving an insane increase of 54%. For the record, at the time on battery day, even a 20% increase would have been remarkable. Hence why so many of us are chomping at the bit to finally see what these 4680 vehicle specs will be. If we think 60 kilowatt hours for 2170 batteries with the old structure will do 279 miles of range, then according to Tesla, 39 kilowatt hours would suffice here. Yup, that is beyond crazy to consider. Tesla can produce vehicles with an exceptional range. There are very few EVs that can even get this much range with twice as many batteries. Now for all my models, I've been doing numbers with Tesla selling vehicles with 60 to 70 kilowatt hour batteries, assuming long range vehicles for the time being. This changes everything. Okay, but this is the Tesla economist, right? First we set you up and make you think the unbelievable, and then save a little treat at the end to expand your mind that much further. Well, this medium range Model Y is an all-wheel drive version. Tesla used to sell a rear-wheel drive long-range Model 3 back in the day, whilst they also sold an all-wheel drive version. We know the difference is MPGe, 130 miles for the rear-wheel drive and 116 miles for the all-wheel drive. The rear-wheel drive version got 12% more range. Why? Well, for starters, it weighs more. There's an additional motor and powertrain. There are more chips too, all adding to the additional cost. You see, Tesla didn't just drop the range, they changed the drivetrain to the rear-wheel drive. So eventually, Tesla could also offer a rear-wheel drive version like this, for an even lower cost that would use even fewer batteries or have a longer range. Anyway, if this meant range increased 12% more, then that means Tesla would be able to get 270 miles of range with just a 35 kilowatt hour battery. We could even go a little bit further again and say that we may round down the power a bit too, but I think I'm content enough with 35 kilowatt hours. The Chinese standard range Model Y is also rear-wheel drive and is partly how they got such an outstanding range from an SUV using LFP batteries. I don't think there are even any LFP SUVs for this reason. The range would be too low. But when will this medium range Model Y come out? Well, we don't really know. Currently we have chip shortages, which are the scarce element, so I don't know, unless Tesla are using chips as a smokescreen for sandbagging. And if this model does come out early, then that would mean that Tesla have opted to take less profit from selling a low-cost model at the sacrifice of selling a long range, unless they had enough chips for more cars. You see what I mean? So in my opinion, this car comes out as soon as chip shortages aren't an issue. If it comes out next quarter, then chips may not be an issue anymore. When the Model Y was initially launched, I guess Tesla didn't realize demand was going to be close to this crazy, and thus initially launched a standard range Model Y. But the range was only 230 miles. Elon said that this is not a long enough range for the US market and closed it down. But this new Model Y has a range of 279 miles, and the Model 3 standard range is also about that too. So obviously that would meet Elon's satisfaction and the US market, and I would tend to agree. This is mind-blowing. If the long-range version of 4680 uses 60 kilowatt hours, then this means that Tesla can make 50% more vehicles. Tesla can increase their Texas Model Y production by 50% taking this route. That's also 50% more robotaxis out there and 50% more FSD customers. It all adds up. It adds up so much. It's blowing my mind. Elon has likened driving an electric car around with batteries like a bag of potatoes. We don't need 600-mile range cars. It becomes bragging rights. We just need as many practical EVs as possible, and this is most in line with the mission. I believe around a 300-mile range will be suitable for the majority of consumers, especially given a lower price point. But on top of that, we do have superchargers proliferating through the country at a rapid rate. There'll be triple the number of superchargers in the next couple of years alone, supplemented with faster charging speeds. Alright, so what does this mean? How much profit will Tesla make on these vehicles? Well, that sounds like a great topic for another video. Thanks for listening. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter and talk to me on Patreon.